Yo, welcome everybody. It's another Sunday. I'm your host, The Fat Stacks. Welcome, welcome. And today, our topic is going to be ways to support content creators. For those, if this is your first time watching my videos on YouTube, I am a streamer on Mixer. My link will be down in the description below. So stop by the channel, check it out, see if you like it. If you like what you see, hit that follow button. Same concept for this YouTube channel. If you like the clips and the videos on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button. I'm doing my best to put, some quality content out there on a consistent basis. So I appreciate y'all coming through, checking out these videos on not also my streams, but also the YouTube channel. Now, we're going to lay some groundwork from what I'm talking about today. And keep in mind, support is subjective, because support that you give out, you might not receive the same support back. So that's first and foremost. So let's just put that out there right now. And if you're looking to get the same support back that you're giving out, then you're looking to you're already putting yourself mentally in a deep hole with that thinking of a mind frame, in my opinion. Now, every time I make these videos, I will always say I'm not giving advice. I'm giving you guys my opinion from my perspective, from what I've seen, from what I've done. So, with that being said, keep in mind, people have lives, people have families, people have full-time jobs, and on top of having a family or a full-time job, people are also trying to create full-time content, or content period, meaning that they only have so much time in a day. There are so many content creators out there, it is impossible to catch every person. It's just not gonna happen. All you can do is, support in whichever way you can, not only as a content creator, but as a viewer as well. And there are so many platforms out there. Me personally, you could only do so much. You know what I mean? And the best way that I've seen, just in general, is, doing your best to hit up these content creators on their socials if you cannot catch their content, if you don't have time when they're live streaming. Obviously, content is not limited to just streaming. You have people that just do content on other platforms, as YouTube, who just put up videos and stuff. So I'm just going to talk about generalistically supporting content creators as a whole, not just for one specific area. And I know this is probably, a message that's been put out there so many times already. People seen so many videos, and it's like, oh, here comes somebody with a whole nother opinion. Yes, it's gonna be another opinion, but from my perspective. A lot of people feel sometimes where if you show support and another person doesn't show that same support back, that that they feel some type of way. But like I said this before, we need to have some consideration that depending on the person's lifestyle and how much time they have, within that 24-hour period, sometimes they might not be able to show the same support you are, depending on your situation. You see what I'm saying? So when you go show support, that mentality of, well, if they don't show me the same type of support, I'm not gonna support them. If that's how you thinking, that's your business. But I'm telling you right now, that's not gonna go over too well. So the best way, if you cannot see somebody live streaming, is if you can't see them live streaming because of what you're doing, is you could always, we're going to talk about Twitter, we're going to talk about the socials, we're going to go through each one of them, because it is important as a content creator as well to be active in your socials, because it allows others to either catch up on what they've missed, or they're able to retweet, and somebody else that they know might be able to come and see your content even though they can't see your content, which is also a form of support. So when it comes to having an active Twitter, I think having an active Twitter is important because of the fact if you cannot catch that person's stream, then or content, then somebody else can catch it live stream. You know what I mean? That form of support, the tweet and retweet, is very important in my opinion. Because me personally, if I see somebody putting up that they are going live on Twitter and they show up on my Twitter, I'm gonna retweet it, because if I cannot catch them, somebody else might be able to catch them. You know what I mean? Exposure is everything when it comes to content creation and content creators as a whole. You know, the more exposure a content creator gets, the more support they're able to gather. Now, obviously, every content creator is trying to build their own support system within a community, and then, you know, as well as sharing their communities with other content creators, so that, you know, there's always content that people will see. And dealing with and being that there's so much content out there, there is content for everybody. You know, there will be somebody that wants to see your content, period, point blank. If one person don't like it, trust me, somebody else will like it. So Twitter is important. The tweets and retweets, they go a very long way. And I've seen where people are like, well, you know, some people, they don't put up, you know, when they're going live on Twitter. In my opinion, I think you should, because of the fact that, you know, sometimes notifications don't go off all the time. It has happened. So technology will fail you sometimes. It's a given. Nothing is perfect. So, you know, just by, you know, hitting that tweet and retweet button definitely helps a lot for content creators. The next thing we're going to talk about as well is Instagram. Instagram is interesting because some people have their accounts locked on private and whatnot. That's fine. But to me, if you go put live on Instagram, I'm going to put you on my story. That's how I do things. If I see anybody going live or whatnot, because that's another form of support. You know what I mean? Because of the fact that, as just like Twitter, you know, exposure is everything. And there are people that will just watch the little clips on Instagram as well. Putting your content out on social media, blanket wise, you know, you can't go wrong, because then you're broadening your audience. And that's the one thing that's one of the most important things I learned as a content creator, is making sure that you put your content out there as much as possible to draw in an audience. Because just working one platform on itself, you're not going to be able to expand. And this is one thing that a lot of content creators have a lot of content creators have in common when they, you know, talk about support, is making sure you're blanketing your content out there so you have a longer reach, you know, to a bigger audience. So it is important, as I said earlier, to make sure that your socials are up to date, that you're putting out consistent content over the social media, because it's a form of support that others can see you and come see your content. Now, Instagram in itself, of course, there goes the phone. I forgot to shut my phone off. We're about to do this right now before we get any more notifications, which I kind of should have done earlier. So my bad. But yeah, Instagram is just another way to get your content out there, to reach to another audience. And, you know, putting up those clips also will help as well. I mean, you don't have to be no professional player, or, you know, you could even show clips of failures, because I've done it before. You know, I'm not a professional gamer or whatnot. I'm just a casual gamer that's like to have fun, and I'll put out whatever clips I clip, or whatever my mods clip, I'll put it out there. Why? Because it's content. Somebody might like it. You know, you never know who might like your content, who might come around. So when it comes to showing support, you know, hitting that like button on Instagram and also hitting the share button on the stories is also important as well, because when you share somebody else's clips or they're going live on your Instagram on your story, you know, your community gets to see them as well. However many followers you have will show, you know, also, and we'll have a chain reaction. You know, you have some people that will continue that and put their that story on their story, and it'll keep going and going and so forth. So, you know, it's important to, once again, keep your socials up to date. Try to get as much content out there, you know, as much as possible. I'm not saying like, you know, it has to be done frequently, but you know, a good amount of content across the social, so people can, you know, see what you're doing, see little snippets, so it draws them, you know, to whatever site you're on. You know what I mean? So the next thing, YouTube. You know, as a streamer, no matter what streaming platform you're on, YouTube is a good way to put out, you know, clips, good way to put out videos, talk about things as I'm doing right now, as a lot of people have done before me. Is another good way of drawing a different type of audience to see you live as well. You know, YouTube has a lot, billions of viewers, and you know, within those billions of viewers, you're gonna have people that like your content, but you never know until you put your content out there and see what people will like. Not everybody's gonna like what you do. As I say again, there will be somebody that will. So and being consistent, that's the biggest word that a lot of people use when it comes to support. Being consistent with the support, being genuine with the support, you know, because of the fact that even though you might not be able to see them in certain ways, you know, just being able to hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button, hit the host button, hitting the share button on the Instagram, hitting the tweet and retweet on your Twitter, you know what I mean? So, you know, those are many ways to support your content creators without, if you, well, I won't say without, but if you miss their live stream or whatnot, or you have some content creators that just do YouTube, they just put content out on YouTube. So if that's the case, then, you know, check them out. You know, it's nothing to hit that like and subscribe button. Nothing. You know what I mean? But I will always say, when it comes to, and I've said this in the beginning to lay the groundwork for this whole video, if you are looking to receive the same support you are giving out, and you are thinking that way, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. I'm going to tell you that right now, because we all have lives. Not everybody's going to be able to catch your content depending. So, you know, we have to make sure that we have that mindset of you wanting to genuinely show support and not wanting anything, because, you know, you have people that they won't show you support unless they get it. You know what I mean? And me personally, I don't do that. I will tweet and retweet when I see people going live. And these are people that I haven't even met or haven't had a chance to see their streams, but I'm doing my best to support the content creation community as a whole, just by hitting, you know, tweet and retweet, you know, by hitting the, you know, the share button on Instagram, the like button. You know, it doesn't hurt. You know, all I can do is, there will be somebody in my community or on my social somewhere that might be able to catch that person's live stream, or being able to help other content creators being exposed out there. You know, there's a lot of content that I haven't even had a chance to see yet. Why? Because I only have so much time in the day, and I want to get a chance to see, you know, these content creators, because everybody's different. You know, everybody's content, you know, is different, and to me, I like to see a lot of different content. Why? Because I think it's enjoyable to see how, people go about doing their content and how they react and whatever games they play and stream and how they interact with their community. Interaction is a big thing in when it comes to content creation, and I'm always big on trying to interact and have genuine good friendships with these other content creators that I run into, because you never know who you might run into, who you might meet. Now, obviously we're not going to get into the whole certain other ends of this whole support business. We're just going to focus on just generalistic ideas, because I know you can sit here and talk about a whole bunch of stuff when it comes to support, but we're just going to focus on just the certain areas and how you can just show support, even though sometimes you might miss the live stream. You know what I mean? So also not just YouTube but Facebook, you know what I mean, showing support on Facebook. A lot of content creators have Facebook pages, you know what I mean. Once again, too easy to hit that like button and too easy to hit that share on Facebook. Facebook is just another way where you can get your content out there to a whole different crowd. You know what I mean? And of course now you have like what is it, like TikTok? Like I'm not a TikTok person, per se, and probably a lot of people give me a lot of flack about not creating a TikTok, but I'm just not that funny, or I try not to hurt myself when it comes to that department. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna step on that landmine. No thanks. You know what I mean? But you have people out there creating content on TikTok to draw in another crowd. You know what I mean? So when it comes to support, man, there's so many ways you can show support even though you are not there. You know what I mean? So when you go about hitting those buttons and hitting those, sharing that content, keep in mind, and I've said this numerous times throughout this video, everybody has lives. We only have so much time in the day. So between content creation, between trying to get the content out there, and between everything else, we really don't have that much time. You know what I mean? Certain people have more time on their hands than others. You know what I mean? That's just how it goes. But, you need to be, and I'm not going to say you, but we as a whole, because I am not trying to single nobody out, but we as a whole should be considerate, of others when it comes to doing our best to support in one way or the other. So I appreciate everybody, chilling out, listening to your boy. This is just my opinion, when it comes to support. Hopefully, you've enjoyed this video. You like what you heard. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And once again, I'm your host, D Fat Stacks. You can check me out on Mixer.com. You see what I'm saying? The link will be down below in the description. Much love to y'all. Y'all have a good day. Hopefully everybody's had a good Thanksgiving. Hopefully everybody's been safe. You know what I mean? So appreciate y'all coming through. Till next time.